there's something different in the air. A strange silence coming from Tesla, a company that usually can't keep secrets for long. But this time, it's as if they're guarding something precious, ready to be revealed. And guess what it is? The Model Y Performance. The final trim needed to complete the new generation of this electric SUV that has already won over half the world. Tesla fans who follow every move are getting restless. And for good reason. This isn't just another car in the lineup. It's the most anticipated, the most mysterious, and potentially the most insane of them all. And the wildest part? It's not just about speed, it promises total versatility. Just imagine a car that takes the kids to school, runs your errands, and still hits the racetrack on the weekend without breaking a sweat. No wonder it's being called the perfect all-arounder. A car that delivers everything. And we mean everything, from daily comfort to that extra thrill for those who love pressing the pedal. Tesla knows this. That's why they're crafting this model with almost artisanal care. You can't just throw anything out there. The Model Y Performance has to deliver. And based on what's been spotted so far, it's coming in hot. What's most interesting is that despite so many sporty SUVs emerging, few manage to balance both worlds so naturally. Either it's a comfortable and boring car, or a powerful and uncomfortable one. But this one promises something different. It aims to unite the best of both worlds. And that's the kind of balance people crave. It's not content with being fast. It wants to be useful, family-friendly, fun, and still a high performer. Sounds like an exaggeration? Maybe until you see what Tesla is preparing. The Model Y Performance is being treated like a rare gem. You can feel it in the way Tesla is keeping things under wraps. It seems like Elon Musk wants this model's arrival to be almost cinematic. The strategy is to keep the public on edge, feeding rumors, teasing camouflage prototypes, subtly dropping hints. And of course, creating that delicious buzz that only builds anticipation. If you've been following Tesla for a while, you know this kind of suspense usually means something big is coming. And there's more. Those who've seen earlier versions of the Model Y up close know how much it has evolved. But now, with the performance version, the game is changing. It's not just about going faster. It's about redefining what we expect from a sporty electric SUV. And that's exciting, because when Tesla says it's going to raise the bar, they usually do. And let's be honest, it's been fun watching this puzzle come together. Some people have already started calling it the everyday Tesla with a racetrack soul. And it makes sense. The goal isn't just to break records, but to fit into the real lives of people who want thrills without giving up practicality. It's like having two cars in one, and very few manufacturers can pull that off credibly. Tesla, with its bold history, seems laser-focused on hitting that target. It's fascinating how Tesla manages to maintain mystery even when the car is already driving around, camouflaged, like a secret agent waiting to reveal its identity. And that's exactly what's happening with the Model Y Performance. It's in its final testing phase, and although it hasn't been officially announced, it has already been spotted in various parts of the world, always hidden under layers of disguise. The first time it popped up was near the Fremont factory in California. Since then, sightings have only increased. Every week, a new shot, a new detail slipping through for sharp eyes to catch. These sightings are no coincidence. Tesla is doing what it does best, testing every component like it's part of a spacecraft. And that's not an exaggeration. The Model Y Performance is being pushed to its limits in different environments and at all times of the day. Early morning, afternoon, late at night, all to ensure its performance doesn't falter under pressure. And honestly, this proves it's not just about slapping in a stronger motor and calling it a day. There's surgical precision happening behind the scenes. One of the most talked about prototypes was spotted on the other side of the world, in Jiangsu province, China. Fully wrapped in matte black camo, the car looked like a rolling enigma. But even with all that disguise, you could tell it was different. More aggressive, more solid. Another sighting came from Germany, suggesting that tests are also underway on European soil, which makes perfect sense given how important that market is for Tesla. And let's be honest, if it's being tested over there, it means the launch is closer than we think. Then came a familiar name from the community, Joe Tag, the drone guy who often shares exclusive footage from Giga Texas. This time, he managed to capture the prototype from angles that sent fans into a frenzy. Images revealed the interior dashboard with a carbon fiber finish, a detail expected only in the performance trim, and a rear that confirms some significant changes. These photos added fuel to the hype and made it clear the model is in the final tweaks before production. But maybe the biggest buzz happened when a Reddit user shared an image showing the full side profile of the Model Y Performance. It felt like someone had finally caught the rare bird without heavy disguise. That photo showed everything it needed to: exclusive wheels, a lower suspension, red brake calipers, and never-before-seen tires. And just like that, the game changed. It became clear that Tesla isn't just testing the model. They're validating the final details before opening the factory doors. The standout feature in that leak? The Pirelli P Zero Elect tires, custom-made for electric vehicles. This isn't just about looks. It's a technical decision. These tires offer lower rolling resistance, better grip, and even help maximize range. Everything a high-performance electric car needs to balance power and efficiency. This kind of choice shows the level of care Tesla is pouring into the project. While the Model Y Performance is being obsessively fine-tuned, on the other side of the ocean, Tesla is moving strategically to restructure production in Europe. The Berlin Gigafactory, which supplies a significant portion of the European market, recently wrapped up the Model Y launch series. That means the initial batch of vehicles, meant to kickstart the factory's new phase, has served its purpose. Now comes the next mission: mass-producing 3 new trims aimed at different customer profiles across Europe. This shift isn't just logistical, it signals a new chapter. Tesla is redesigning its European offerings based on lessons learned from the first wave of sales and the growing demand. The 3 new models now entering production are the standard rear-wheel drive Model Y, the long-range rear-wheel drive, and the long-range all-wheel drive. It's a smart combination that caters to budget-conscious buyers as well as those seeking extended range and superior traction. And all of them will be assembled right in Germany. Production for these trims is set to begin in May. And that's no coincidence. It's right when European market starts heating up as consumers prepare for summer, vacations, and, naturally, car shopping. This move puts pressure on competitors, who now have to contend with an even more aggressive Tesla presence in Europe. And with local production, prices are likely to become more competitive, shaking up the market significantly. Tesla's strategy here also reveals something else. They're setting the stage for something bigger. While the mainstream trims begin rolling off the line at full speed, all signs point to the Model Y Performance being next in line and stepping in as the season's true star. This fits perfectly with the global testing already underway. Once the European stage is set, the performance version can debut with the impact it truly deserves. Another key detail is that ending the launch series frees up factory capacity, and that's crucial. Producing a model like the Performance takes more time, more calibration, and sometimes even specialized machinery. With the current reorganization, Tesla ensures there's room and pace to introduce this more advanced trim without disrupting the flow of other models. That increases the chances of seeing the Performance made in Berlin, not just in the US. It's worth remembering that the Berlin factory is one of Tesla's most advanced, equipped with cutting-edge robotics and optimized processes that allow for more rigorous quality control. that favors the kind of finish and performance expected from this model. After all, we're talking about an SUV that needs to deliver sportiness without sacrificing premium quality. In Europe, being as demanding as it is, we'll expect every detail to be perfect. Now that the foundation is practically set, both in the United States and Europe, the juiciest details are starting to surface, the ones that make fans' eyes light up: the design. And we're not just talking about minor cosmetic changes. The Model Y performance is being equipped with components that not only visually set it apart, but also enhance performance. Starting with the wheels, those glorious wheels. These are the well-known 21-inch Uber turbine rims, but now with an even more aggressive stance. Just one look is enough to tell this car didn't come to play. These larger wheels aren't just for show. They provide a greater contact area with the ground, which means better grip in corners and quicker response times. And that's not all. Behind them, the red-painted brake calipers stand out, a classic sign that this car takes performance seriously. And yes, they're real. It's not just fancy paint. Tesla implemented a more robust braking system specifically to handle what this SUV is designed to deliver on the track. After all, if the car accelerates harder, it also needs to stop with precision. But perhaps the most unexpected and exciting highlight is the tires. These aren't just any high-performance tires. They're the new Pirelli P Zero Elect, developed specifically for electric vehicles. And that makes a world of difference. They're engineered with a focus on grip, quiet ride, and low rolling resistance. In other words, they not only handle the punch of instant torque from electric motors, but also help preserve the vehicle's range. It's a tough balance to strike, but in this case, it seems they nailed it. It's interesting to think that, for a long time, tires were treated as an afterthought. But in a high-performance electric car, they take center stage. And it's great to see Tesla acknowledging that, partnering with Pirelli for a smart solution. Choosing these tires says a lot about what the Model Y performance aims to be. Not just fast, but refined, intelligent, and ready for any road. And for those who enjoy spirited driving, these technical details translate into pure fun behind the wheel. Beyond the wheels and tires, there are other visual elements signaling you're looking at something different. The ride height, for instance, is slightly lower than other versions. This improves stability, especially when cornering, and gives the vehicle a more commanding posture. When you look at the whole setup, wheels, tires, suspension, brakes, it becomes clear that every part was designed to work together like a well-tuned orchestra. If the visual elements already impress on their own, the cherry on top is in the rear, specifically the carbon fiber spoiler, which gets a special twist in this performance version. Inspired by the Model 3's design, this spoiler has been completely re-engineered to fit the larger structure of the Model Y. And yes, it looks fantastic, but it's not just about looks. It serves a real aerodynamic function, helping keep the car planted at high speeds and improving stability and control in corners. Here's where it gets even better. The spoiler is now removable. That's right, removable. And not only that, it's easily replaceable. Tesla went further by creating a clip-in system that lets owners swap out the spoiler without dismantling the entire rear hatch. It might seem like a small detail, but in practice, it's a game changer. If the trunk gets damaged, you can reuse the spoiler. Want to upgrade to a sportier version or a different carbon finish? Go ahead, no stress. It's the kind of smart solution that shows Tesla is learning from how its cars are actually used in the real world. This kind of flexibility is especially useful for daily drivers who still want that sporty touch, and who, from time to time, might face a little urban wear and tear. Plus, this modularity opens the door to future customization or even special editions, something Tesla has done before. The idea of adapting and reusing car parts fits perfectly with the company's vision of sustainability and practicality. Honestly, it would be great to see this feature expand to other models as well. Another interesting point is how this new spoiler blends perfectly with the rest of the design. It doesn't look like an afterthought. It feels like part of the bodywork itself. That shows Tesla's attention to aesthetic detail. When compared to traditional spoilers, especially aftermarket ones, the difference is clear. Tesla created something functional, beautiful, and practical. A rare combo that's hard to beat. In China, for instance, a Model Y has already been spotted with this spoiler installed, and the look is just brutal. The rear gains a presence that transforms the whole car. Even if the rest of the body matches other trims, the spoiler alone gives it a distinctive visual signature. And knowing it can be easily swapped makes consumers feel more confident in trying it out without the fear of making a permanent mistake or losing it in a collision. This also hints at future versions or limited editions with spoiler variations. With so much excitement in the air, it's only natural that expectations for the Model Y performance are sky high. But that's exactly why some more seasoned voices are starting to bring a little reality check. After all, when Tesla promises something, people expect miracles. It was like that with the Model 3 performance. Everyone expected an almost alien-like vehicle, and although it was impressive, many missed some of the futuristic features that were rumored in forums and videos. Now, with a new Model Y, the goal is to avoid falling into the same trap. The most sensible approach is to expect what's already pretty much confirmed. Improvements in the powertrain, upgraded suspension, more responsive steering, and exterior elements that match a high-performance vehicle. These things are already evident in road tests and prototype images. The rest, the so-called revolutionary features that people love to speculate about, like a 120V outlet, vehicle-to-grid charging, or an intelligent frunk with energy functions, might still show up, but maybe not right away. And let's be honest, what's been revealed so far is more than enough to get any enthusiast excited. The way the Model Y performance is being built, with each detail carefully tuned for the driving experience, already places it in a category far above average. If it truly delivers the balance between sportiness and usability that's expected, it will be a major milestone. Tesla doesn't need to reinvent the wheel. It just needs to get what's already promised exactly right. Even so, it's hard to ignore that spark of hope. That thought that maybe, just maybe, Tesla still has a few tricks up its sleeve. It wouldn't be the first time. The company has a history of launching over-the-air updates that unlock features no one expected. So, something surprising might still drop after launch, not straight from the factory. And that kind of surprise is part of what keeps Tesla fans so engaged. Unpredictability has become part of the brand's identity. The very fact that the company hasn't announced a dedicated event for this launch is a sign they're being more restrained. Maybe it's strategic. Maybe it's focus. After all, the performance model is a continuation, not a complete revolution. But that doesn't diminish its importance. True car enthusiasts know the difference between a good vehicle and a memorable one lies in the details. And it's those details that Tesla is clearly betting on. Now, if there's one area where many people are crossing their fingers, and rightly so, it's the battery. It's no use having an SUV that looks like a rocket with red brake calipers and a carbon fiber spoiler if its range falls short. And that's always been the performance version's dilemma. It delivers absurd power, but sacrifices range compared to the long-range models. The good news is that Tesla seems to be fully aware of this. And more than that, they're tweaking the very soul of the vehicle. The expectation is that the new Model Y performance will be equipped with more advanced batteries, like the famous 4680s or perhaps NC cells, which promise a much better balance between performance and efficiency. These 4680 batteries aren't just a lab theory. They're already being produced in small batches, and the plan is to apply them specifically to Tesla's most ambitious models. What makes them special? First, they have higher energy density, meaning more energy in less space. Second, they're cheaper to produce in the long run. And finally, they're safer and offer better thermal management. All of this helps create a car that doesn't just go faster, it goes farther. And in an EV, that's gold. Tesla knows that anyone who buys a performance version wants to hit the throttle, but doesn't want to be hunting for a charger every 300 kilometers. That's where this new battery chemistry comes in. With the right combination, you can get brutal acceleration without sacrificing too much range. And more than that, advancements in the cooling system and energy distribution can reduce long-term wear, making the car more durable and reliable, even under intense use. Another aspect that could come alongside these new batteries is improved drivetrain efficiency. Everything is connected. If the motor consumes less energy per kilometer and the battery holds more energy, the result is a range closer to that of the long-range trims, even with all that extra power. And if that actually happens, the Model Y performance will no longer be the fast one with less range, but rather the best of both worlds. Behind the scenes, rumors about battery testing at Fremont and Giga Texas are gaining traction. Some say that part of the delay in launching the new model is precisely due to the final adjustments on this new energy cell. And it makes sense. It's not just about snapping in a new battery and hitting the road. It's an entire system that needs to be calibrated, from the energy management software to the temperature sensors. And knowing Tesla, they won't release anything until it's dialed into perfection.